what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford, and guess what? We have a little bit of a surprise. This is a 2018 Dodge Charger RT, and I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, why are you filming this Dodge Charger RT? A lot of you, the subscribers, the fans of Rady's Rides, have specifically asked me. I brought you the Scat Pack wide body Hellcat, the Hellcat Daytona wide body. This is the first time I've been able to get my hands on an RT. These RTs are actually very difficult to track down, and I figured since one was just recently traded in, why not do it here at Walker Ford? But before we get into this particular one, let's talk about what the Charger is. The Dodge Charger, been around since the 1960s, 1966 to be exact, has been that muscle car with a lot of V8 flair, a lot of that muscle car performance. Now, the current iteration of the Charger is a 4-door. If you go back to the original, it was a 2-door. And a lot of people have scratched their heads, why? Why Dodge make a 4-door Charger? It really boils down to they did not want a main competitor up against the Challenger. One thing is for certain, with this Dodge Charger RT, you kind of fall into the sweet spot of having an ideal daily driver, but also some muscle car V8 performance underneath the hood from that 5.7 liter. So let's go ahead, dive into this Dodge Charger in F8 green and see really, is it the 4-door muscle car perfect for you? Right off the bat, styling. Now, whether you're looking at this 2018, a 2019, or a 2020, guess what? They look identical at this RT trim. F8 green, really love the color, sparkles like an emerald. You drop down, you're gonna have your projector beam style headlight, LED daytime running lamp. Really love the shape of the housing and the way that it integrates into the grille. You drop down, and on the RT trim, you do get fog lamps in each corner, gonna help illuminate the road as you're hustling it down the road. Coming across the grille, I think the Charger really shows some nice aggression at the front end of the business. You have your flat black, you drop down, same flat black, and just look how the lower portion of the front fascia extends very, very nicely, but tough, muscular looking from the front. Now, when we get up onto the hood, even with the RT trim, you're gonna get this nice functional hood scoop. Love the body line, love the raised section, really screams what that generation was all about. Now, obviously we're in muscle car version 2.0, but still 5.7 liters, plenty of horsepower. When we come around the bend, you're gonna have these gun metal gray wheels. Really nice looking wheel, love the design, and it really works super well with the F8 green. This is a 20-inch wheel, so you're definitely not going small on wheel size. 245s on the width, 45 series sidewall. You can see that you have your fully ventilated rotors and a very large caliper there. But I think really the way that the car sits, it just has a nice purposeful stance to it. And RT, what does it stand for? Road and track. That's been an option ever since the original muscle car days. Going into the fender, we have a nice Hemi badge, black, Hemi underneath the hood. Now remember, it's not a true Hemi in the sense that it has hemispherical heads like the originals, but they use that for marketing, and there's a lot of weight behind that word Hemi. Really great lines with the 4 doors. One of my favorite parts about looking at the side of a Charger is the beautiful indentation that they put that starts on the driver's side door and then goes all the way into the passenger door. Really gives it that extra style. Flat black around the window treatment. You do have color matched mirror caps. Of course, F8 green, such a beautiful color. Nice shark fin antenna coming into the rear quarter windows of the passenger door. And you can see how nicely this extends out. Even the lower portion down below that side sill, I don't know if you noticed, but it actually flares out to the front, then comes in and then flares out towards the rear. Remember, this is rear wheel drive, and you have 245s at all 4 corners. So even though this is rear wheel drive, your rear tires are no wider than the front tires, at least on the RT trim. Now, when we get to the back, nice, tasteful, color matched trunk lid spoiler. I really love the way the spoiler design extends past the actual opening of the trunk. And then I think when it comes to identifying one of these vehicles, nobody does it better than Dodge with these taillights. Full LED at night, you could see this car from a million miles away and know it's a Charger. You got your RT badge. Remember, what does it stand for? Road and track. Nice, simple, clean bumper design. You drop down, same story down below, and you're gonna have those 2 slash cut oval exhaust, gonna give us that V8 rumble. Let's go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's powering this RT. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. Obviously, you have two sets of hydraulic struts. Underneath that hood is an engine cover that's got the Hemi badging. I like the way it's got the gray in the center. If it didn't have that gray color, it'd look a little bit too much like a trash can lid, but like it says, 5.7 liter V8. What are we talking about? Power-wise, you're looking 370 horsepower, 395 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through that slick shifting ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. The car weighs around 4,264 pounds. MPGs, you're gonna get 16 in the city, 25 on the highway, and 0 to 60 in a brisk 5.7 seconds. One of the things about the Charger that is sort of like a double-edged sword is I love the way they have many different versions of the car for many different people's budgets and lifestyles, but that's also another issue. There's just so many different types that you could be driving this RT and somebody might confuse it for a Hellcat. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this Hemi and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2018 Dodge Charger RT. Now, this car is so freshly traded in, they don't have a price yet, but I will put the link to Walker Ford's site in the description so you could check it out once that goes live. But let's see what you get for the money, whatever that price may be. To the door panels, there is a lot of dark material, but I do like the white contrast stitching, especially on the nice angle cut there. Soft armrest with the same stitch work, little bit of silver trim, and then you'll notice that you have the optional Beats by Dre sound system and a nice pocket down there for a cold cut combo, foot long from Subway, and a bottle of Coca-Cola to wash it all down. Soft material on the dash. You got your Charger badging. It does have that elephant skin texture to it, but you know what? RT, if you want to get a little nicer finish, you could go premium interiors with the scat packs and everything. The great news is you're going to get that awesome working 8.4-inch Uconnect system, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, so easy to use, very quick reacting. Love the trim around it. It's not trying to be carbon fiber. It looks very muscle car-esque. You got your start-stop button. If you don't want to touch the screen, you got your radio controls, you got your AC controls, a nice little pocket down here for some race drag Twinkies. You have your 12-volt here. This little area will be some toothpicks that you could pick out that yellow sponge cake after you're done stuffing the Twinkies in your mouth. This is going to control that 8-speed, that ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. Key fob. Here is your Dodge key fob. Very simple, very clean. You do have remote start, which is a nice touch. And what I also like is you have this lid over the two cup holders. Super soft armrest with the stitch work. You open it up, look at this. Everybody wants a removable felt line little party tray there. You can put your M&Ms in there. The colors aren't going to rub off. Inside, you have another 2 USBs, an aux jack, a 12-volt, and a place for even more Twinkies. Seats. Love the combination. You got the Alcantara, the leather stitch work. Really nice large seats, are very, very comfortable. Power assist for both the passenger and the driver. And then also plenty of headroom in here. But why don't you come over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this Dodge Charger RT. All right, guys, business time. Like I was saying, you got power assist for both the passenger and the driver. Get the seat to fit nice. Really comfortable seat. Steering wheel, great thickness. You got the Dodge logo back there. Goes all the way back to 1901 with the Dodge brothers. That bright silver finish. Now, you do have paddles. My only zonk is that they're small. I know for some people that might work out to be perfect because you normally have small things that you have in your hands, but I like the paddles to be a little bit larger, especially if you're maybe drag racing somebody. You want to make sure you hit it every single time without having to focus on it. Dash though, clean, clear, concise. You have the nice retro style gauges, analog tech, analog speedometer. In the center there, you have a plethora of different screens that you could bring up that make life so easy. Especially, I love the auxiliary gauges. That's really, really cool to have all that information. Overall, great environment to be sitting in. Let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to like this Charger RT. All right, guys, backseat time. The wonderful thing is, just like up front, tons of room. Your passengers back here are gonna be really enjoying your burnouts because there's tons of room for them to be able to experience them. Now, you do have pockets on both sides. What's nice is that you could put all sorts of payday bars back there, maybe 100 grand. You got heated seats. You have your AC ventilation and 2 USBs. So they got you covered really well, especially on this Charger RT. But I really think that there's a ton of headroom back here. Flip this down, soft touch, flip it up, put your peanut M&Ms in there, 2 cup holders, and the wonderful thing is you're not gonna crush your nuts. No guy wants to have his nuts crushed. Flip it back. Let's go ahead, check out the trunk space and see how usable this Charger RT really is. All right, guys, time to check out the trunk space. We push the button, pops up nicely. You have a very large opening. Here's your subwoofer, your Dr. Dre Beats by Dre subwoofer. You can fold down the seats, 60-40 split. Plenty of room to have some drag slicks, a jack, some jack stands, because you know what? Yes, you may not have 700 something horsepower because it's not a Hellcat, but you still got plenty of horsepower and you could have a ton of fun with this car at the drag strip. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Charger RT for a spin. Lever Walker Ford, we're in the 2018 Dodge Charger RT. Does this car have get up and go? On throttle, ZF drops down. Here we go. So like I said, much more manageable power with this, and that's what's gonna make it a better daily driver. But also you got the V8 power to where you can go and enjoy a test and tune night at your local drag strip, or actually drag race it in some type of competitive format. Plus you got the 4-door capability, and whoever took care of this particular one with almost 30,000 miles, the wear is very minimal on it, to be honest with you. I'm actually quite impressed with how this one has aged with this kind of mileage. The layout of a Dodge Charger totally makes sense. The 8.4-inch Uconnect system, so easy to use. And what makes this one even better is you got ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and navigation, all wrapped into one. I love looking out over the hood and seeing that massive bulge in the hood, because you know that there's that hood scoop on the other end. Visibility out the back is nice, and they ride really, really smoothly. If you notice, this thing doesn't blow any smoke. It's not making any weird noises. It tracks down the road perfectly. So this is kind of like a twofer. You're able to see how does a Charger age after a couple years of being driven around. And then also, like I said, being the RT trim, it's not a Scat Pack, it's definitely not a Hellcat. Is it still enough? Do you need more? I don't know. That's really up to you, but I think that, especially for the price point and everything, this does bring a lot to the table. All right, guys, driving the Charger RT on the highway, I'm telling you, you feel like you're in a living room. These seats are very, very comfortable. If you're worried about any kind of bolstering hurting you, don't worry, because there's not much bolstering to hurt you or to hold you in, but that's not the purpose of this particular vehicle. But driving on the highway, super smooth, visibility is great, and I really think you could drive this for hundreds of miles. Obviously, you're gonna have to stop for gas, but you could drive it all day and still feel fresh as a daisy by the time you get to your destination, no matter where that is. Plus, you got that great Charger name. So much history, going all the way back to 1966, especially an RT trim. That trim has been around since the beginning, road and track. All right, guys, going in this left-hand bend here. Great feedback coming to the wheel, which is surprising. You know, this isn't really a super performance-oriented version. You're still getting nice feedback. I like the thickness of the wheel. The paddles, like I said, are a little on the smaller side, but you know what? Just leave it in automatic mode. The ZF's 8-speed shifts very, very well. Super smooth. Guys, let's see how the handling goes. On throttle, here we go. Rip it to the turn, on the brakes. Good turning, look at this, very nice. Super smooth, back on throttle. Little pivot coming from the rear. There you go. It's a fun car. That's what these cars are about, man. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can look at what's coming from Dodge, but for sure, in the fun excitement, they definitely check off all the boxes. They have the classic names and that classic muscle car feel and look, no matter which trim level you go with. But I'm pleasantly surprised with this RT. I'm glad I was able to track one down. Let's see how we do in this left-hand bend here. On the brakes, look at this, super good turning, nice and smooth. Back on throttle, here we go. Let the back come out just a little bit. Great V8 sound, naturally aspirated horsepower, and that ZF shifts so well. The ZF 8-speed automatic transmission shifts really, really well, so you're definitely gonna be happy about that. But we're gonna go ahead, get back to Walker Ford, and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Walker Ford. Nice to see somebody trading in a pristine example of a Dodge Charger RT that I could bring to you. I definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Benji, Mark, Austin, Greg, the whole crew here, so accommodating. Is this the best everyday muscle car that you can enjoy, have tons of room, and really share it with your family and friends? I'm gonna say yes. You get a lot of bang for the buck with this Dodge Charger RT. If it's cars like these that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Raise Rise merch. Got to get it at the Big Guns McGee out here in the Florida sun, sweating it up. Thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.